The recommendation itself, followed by some in-depth analysis and an implementation timeline, and we'll conclude with some of the expected results and prospects moving forward.
The issues currently facing your organization are a lack of sales process and the inability of your sales staff to complete sales without Mr. Sakuchi himself, which is an ineffective use of his time as CEO. These issues pose a larger problem for your organization, which is low penetration and slow growth within targeted industries. In addition to this, I would also like to remind you that all past ventures have been financed entirely by shareholder investments and that any future endeavors are expected to be financed the same.
Alright, so through extensive analysis, my team of consultants and I have realized that any recommendation would need to follow the decision criteria. First being that the application must integrate a minimum of 3 product features. There are products in the market that are capable of performing 1 or even 2 functions. However, the Blue Rover is capable of performing multiple functions simultaneously, and that is what sets it apart. Secondly, the recommended segment must be attractive. So it must be reachable, identifiable, profitable, and responsive. Thirdly, it must be ensured that sales are not cannibalized within the direct industry. By offering the Blue Rover in one industry, it should not take away sales in another or the potential to sell in another. Also, this must be executed in the upcoming year, and you must gain a profit in the first year as well. The reason behind that is Robin Patterson had stated that Mr. Sakuchi does want to introduce another SKU into the company itself. But in order to do that, sales must be generated to make sure that there is funding available.
Alright, so there are 3 pieces to our recommendation today. The first is a modification of organizational structure that is more efficient. The second is a development of a sales process that is also more efficient and allows Mr. Sakuchi more time to deal with high-level organizational strategy and product development. And the third is based on our previously identified decision criteria to pursue soil management in specific relation to golf courses. Now, this industry can be penetrated within 1 year and utilizes Blue Rover's versatility to create more efficient course management systems. So here's a little web of connections to show you just exactly how the Blue Rover will integrate with these golf courses. So there are 5 different sensors that are going to be used. The first 3, moisture, humidity, and temperature, will integrate with information on the day's current and projected weather to create a forecast for the exact amount and location of watering needed on the course. This information will be communicated through the Blue Rover to the irrigation systems. The pH and nitrogen sensors will be used solely by the course's superintendent and will not affect the system's action. Their purpose is to aid in the weed control and fertilization processes, as well as root development and disease resistance. Now, all of this information will be available on a laptop interface that will be discussed later in the presentation.
Alright, so currently within the external environment, there's a trend towards efficient water consumption. Specifically in the Southwest United States, this trend has resulted in regulations concerning this consumption. Within Arizona and California, these regulations are directly impacting golf courses as they're requiring them to provide analytics regarding their water. So this is because they're consuming nearly 88 million gallons of water per year, which is a cost of $97,000. 20 to 50% of this is overuse, therefore they could save between $19,000 and $40,000 per year. Currently there's no product directly satisfying this need, therefore the Blue Rover could act as a first mover and gain market share quickly.
So reputation is a huge factor in the golf industry. Golf courses pride themselves of having top quality conditions and are willing to spend thousands of dollars to maintain them. A great example is Augusta National, where the Masters Tournament is hosted every year. A big talking point during this event is how great of a job the maintenance crew did in preparing the course. A problem faced by many golf courses when preparing a course is overwatering. Overwatering can negatively affect the grass, causing infection and bacteria. It's caused by watering the golf course at timed intervals instead of the appropriate time needed. So this creates a need for a product that can water our golf course at the appropriate time and level automatically. As a matter of fact, we contacted Glen Abbey Golf Course, a member of Club Link, and a host course in the Canadian Open, and their superintendent was very enthusiastic about our proposal and said that many golf courses would be interested in implementing this type of technology into their golf course management.
As Raquel had mentioned before, there are currently no direct competitors within the golf industry itself. However, for the indirect competition, there is a Toro Turf Guard, the Turf Tech Moisture Sensor, and John Deere. These products offer features that are capable of monitoring the moisture, the soil temperature, and produce a few small reports. However, they do not have the machine-to-machine communication aspect. The Blue Rover is an excellent product and offers great value, as it does have the greatest number of features relative to its price.
So in the short term, we recommend reorganizing structure to a hybrid of functional and divisional, with sales operating under a divisional structure to increase expertise in each division. We also recommend hiring a sales manager with expertise in sales and the machine-to-machine industry. This sales manager will be trained by Mr. Sakuchi himself to get knowledge and expertise in each division. Once trained, this sales manager will hire salespeople in each of the divisions to increase penetration, as well as hire a turf manager in the soil and management division and specifically to install the products.
After the internal issues within the organization have been dealt with, the graphic user interface must be developed. As you can see here, the moisture, pH, and nitrogen levels in the soil, humidity levels in the air, as well as the upcoming week's projected weather are displayed. In addition to this, the appropriate times that the irrigation system will be in use, as well as the current course conditions at various locations. In terms of the Blue Rover webpage, it is our first suggestion that the mission and vision statement we have formulated as a team be displayed on the homepage for the sole purpose of complete transparency to current and potential customers. Next, a soil management tab should be added to the webpage as you currently have for each of the industries you operate in. In order to more effectively communicate the benefits of such a unique product as the Blue Rover, informative videos specific to each industry should be added to the respective tabs. This will allow consumers who do not have knowledge in the machine-to-machine communication systems to see the benefits that this product provides visually, and it will ultimately increase the speed of the sales cycle and allow higher levels of growth within targeted industries.
So following the first 6 months, we recommend that you implement 3 promotional activities. Firstly, we recommend that you attend 3 trade shows, the largest of these being the PGA Merchandise Show. This attracts nearly 41,000 industry experts from around the globe each year. Secondly, we recommend that you begin cold calling the golf courses within the southwestern states, as they will most readily accept this product as they see a direct need. Thirdly, we recommend that you implement a half-page informative advertisement within the superintendent. This will just serve to capture the market share who may not have been at the trade shows or been cold called. Once customers begin showing an interest in this Blue Rover, we recommend that you just lay out an installation process. So this would simply be the golf courses sending their blueprints to the turf manager, who would then determine the optimal locations of the sensor on the course. He would then travel with the turf crew to the golf course to install the sensors and the Blue Rover at the optimal locations.
So in the long term, continued communication is vitally important. With course superintendents, it's important that they know exactly what kind of things Blue Rover can offer so that products can be improved in the future and that the Blue Rover can be implemented in as many possible ways in the golf course to continually improve course efficiency.
Alright, so for every golf course, we expect that they purchase 1 Blue Rover as the range sufficiently covers a full 18-hole golf course. In addition, their superintendents need to also purchase subsequent sensors that record and track important information that's transmitted back to the Blue Rover. So the breakdown is as follows. So for every sprinkler head, there needs to be a subsequent soil moisture sensor, and on average, there are about 800 per course. In addition, they need a nitrogen and a pH for every hole, and a temperature and humidity for every course, totaling about 838 per golf course. Now, with the sheer amount of sensors being purchased, we believe that we need to package them and sell them at a discounted rate to be more attractive. Now, before we begin any type of financial projection or analysis, we first feel that we need to make a few key assumptions that we believe are fairly reasonable. Number one, there are about 20,000 golf courses situated in North America, and based on the reach of our various marketing initiatives, we believe that we can reasonably estimate a conservative capture rate of about 0.5%, which is about 100 golf courses in the first year. Two, we made a simplifying assumption that all sales will be collected by year end. So let's now walk through the numbers. So if our assumptions are correct, we would be able to net $241,000 in year one with a break even of about 52 courses. In year two, if we were to capture 2% of the market, we would net $661,000. And in year three, if we target 5%, we would hit $1.4 million. Now, if we took the cash flows before tax and discounted them at a CAPM model rate of about 13.2%, the net present value of this project would be about $2.7 million, making this investment in our solution worth your time, effort, and capital.
So after golf courses have been penetrated, it's a logical next step to move into agriculture. Using golf as a promotional tool because it's an internationally televised sport, and if it can be shown that the Blue Rover positively impacts course management, it will be very much easier to convince agricultural users to implement the Blue Rover as well. So to give you an idea of just how attractive that market is, there are 2.1 million farms in North America alone, and capturing a single percentage of this would yield revenues of $40.8 million. So you can readily see how attractive that is. At this time, we'd like to conclude our presentation and hope we've got you, AITSI, on your way to hitting a hole-in-one. Open up for any questions. Thank you.
Your last slide there about moving on next after the golf courses into agriculture. How many of those are industrial commercial farms versus privately owned farms? Or
I think the number was an aggregated number, so it encompassed everything.
Okay. I'm just wondering about the adaptability of technology and the likelihood of that versus the smaller family-owned farms versus the corporate farms.
Yeah, I think that corporate farms would definitely be more attracted to the product at first, just because they have much large-scale operations. But again, I think if it's convinced that the people that were in the industry, the salespeople, would be able to definitely have the expertise. Just show them that, yeah, even though it does cost this, this, and this, it will be able to actually, help you, even though it costs like $1,700 for a rover and the X amount for the sensors, it would still be able to provide them the benefits that a corporate user would be able to have.
Okay.
Did you take into consideration all the food chain applications that would be in a golf course? Kitchens, food issues, food safety, any of that? Because you're at the golf course anyway, and you're addressing one aspect of the business. Did you consider looking at a whole umbrella?
Yeah, we actually didn't, because our main purpose was to go into soil management, and we thought the first industry to target would be golf because of the promotional benefits it brings. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if the rover is at the golf course and they would still only need one rover and they could hook up other sensors, we could do that at that time. But in terms of our initial goal was to move into soil management, use the golf industry, and then move on to bigger things.
The average golf course being about 100 acres, I guess, minimum?
110 to 190, depending if it's residential or resort style.
Okay. When I spoke to you about the coverage of the Blue Rover, I mentioned about 300 meters.
Yep.
And so I don't think one could cover the whole golf course.
Well, you said it has ranges from, I think you said 300 meters to up to 3 kilometers.
Right, on the okay, I see.
So if it had a range of up to 3 kilometers, it actually would cover 7,000 acres.
Thought I had you.
And if the rover, if they needed more than one rover, it'd be better for you, right? So.
Fair enough. So you're talking about the other radios. What do you guys? Yeah, questions?
I got just one. You guys kind of touched on the fact that right now they overwater. So, do they do any of this testing now? Like, how do they watch their soil moisture content, humidity, and all that now? Do they just guess?
Well, there were the indirect competitors. These indirect competitors don't have the machine-to-machine technology, so that's where the Blue Rover's benefit lies. Currently, some courses do monitor the soil moisture and other levels that they think are applicable. But again, it has to be done by human intervention, so the golf course superintendent would actually have to go and turn it on. Say it was only supposed to be on for 10 minutes, then he would get notified. He'd have to run back to the system to turn it off. Whereas with this, if it only needed to be on for 10 minutes, the system would turn on and off automatically.
Where did the assumption come from of the quantity of sensors? So you made the assumption that you're going to put a single sensor at every sprinkler head. Was that assumption based on any sort of technical knowledge, or was it just an assumption that given numbers?
Well, we searched what the average amount of sprinkler heads are on a golf course, and the number was 800. And we thought that it would be more beneficial to have a moisture sensor per sprinkler head, as the moisture sensors don't have a wide range to see what the moisture is, say, 100 feet from here. Mm-hmm. So if we were able to put a moisture sensor at each sprinkler head, if that specific sprinkler head needed to go on, but the other 18 on the hole didn't, because they were optimal moisture levels or they had been overwatered, then that specific one would go on.
Is it controllable down to the sprinkler head, or depends on the course? Or
Yeah.
is
It depends on the course, but a lot of systems do segregate it by even like sections of a hole.
Okay.
So again, it is depending on the course, but yeah, most of them will have the ability to turn on individual heads.
Great. Which one of you is a golfer? Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.